Well, hello again. This is the Linleys Garden Railway. Hi, I'm Warren Brand and welcome to another Linleys video. Going to continue with the high-level works here, breaking away from this Delta Junction, continuing with the track work, track bed section along here. If you've seen earlier videos in this mini-series, you'll know exactly what I'm doing with the Delta Junction, with the suburban line and the ongoing sort of branch for a depot really for managing live steam. Yes, live steam on the Linleys Garden Railway, hopefully coming this summer. The last time I was working on the line was a couple of weekends ago, actually, but it's a fine afternoon and I've got about 3 hours today and probably a couple of hours tomorrow afternoon. The last time I was in the garden working on the line, I managed to cut the timber work to inset to form the track beds sections here and through quite a way down the branch line as well. Steel work sides, if you've been seeing the previous video, steel work as the main sort of substructure, and wooden decking. The plan today is to lift and paint the timber work so I can get that treated. A couple of coats hopefully today, if not today then maybe tomorrow, and even get a bit more track down so that I've got this this section here on the Delta Junction. I'm using that term in a modern sense with HS2. It is a triangle. And therefore I'm going to call it a Delta Junction. Might be a bit cheeky. Comments are welcome. Anyhow, so I'm hoping to finish the Delta Junction here and then push forward to lay more track bed and even some track here. I need to be careful about the positioning of the points for the various junctions and work out exactly where I need to widen the bit of track bed that I've put in there. At a certain point here, I may include a reversing junction here to be decided, but at a certain point along here, probably just beyond the position of this lamp, I can move the lamp if I need to. I'm going to make this wider so that I can get 3 tracks continuing on for the depot siding for the live steam workings, as well as the wooden track bed, finishing off the painting and track laying kind of as much as I can, pushing on a little bit down there from the Delta Junction here. I'd like to get in at least one of these concrete support columns to sort of form the idea of a viaduct. First one's going to go here. I'll just do them probably one at a time. They'll be in situ concrete and I'm going to cast the round columns with a bit of nice big pipe. I'll just cut so that their two sides can come apart. There's always the risk of a little bit of misalignment, but whatever. So I'll get one of those in hopefully today. That would be rather nice, and then I'll reuse the former and put another one here, and that'll get this sort of worked out, and then I'll just progressively work along. I've got some more of this which is slightly longer as well. Well, that's the plans. Let's turn the plans into reality. Lift some wood, do some painting, clear, dig, concrete mix, pour. That's a bit of fun afternoon, isn't it? Well, I know the height of the sort of viaduct bit here needs to be pretty well exactly that. So before I take that set of blocks away, I'm just going to chock up here so that I can dig out and put the column in there. That is perfect. One too many bricks. Now I can take out this temporary column. Let's remove, if I can, a couple of these bits of wood. Let's try and keep them in the same sequential order. There we go. that it matters too much. They're all pretty well the same. Right, here then is where the column's going to go. Just about there, just back from the track bed edging strips, just in there. Digging down probably about 30 centimetres, 300 mil, just to get down to some solid ground. Doesn't need to be very deep, but I do want to try and avoid roots sort of getting underneath and lifting and shifting. So I'm going to go down a little bit more. Makes it a little bit tricky having these steels just above the hole you're digging, but I can cope. Right, I think that's pretty well it. Yeah, I just tapped down the soil just a little bit at the bottom. I had sort of roughed it up a little bit, and it's nice to get a nice firm base for the concrete to settle on. Otherwise the concrete's got to compress it and then the whole thing could drop, and I don't really want this moving. Right, let's see how that looks. I should now have, a nice lower piece of concrete, which I'll keep lower, bring that up, fairly dry mix, and then put this on top, and then pour, I need to cut this of course, and then pour the concrete, and it'll just rest there nicely. I can do any final fixing and fettling in height on top of the concrete afterwards and keep that hidden. That's okay. First part of the mix nice and dry, get a nice firm base, and then I can rest the bit of pipe on. I think I will bank up the concrete a little bit, sort of slope it back down into the soil so that I don't have a massive sort of concrete shelf showing just below the surface of the soil. I think that'll do quite nicely. So I'm going to backfill soil here to support that, and then fill the tube up to form the concrete core column. Getting there. I've checked with my sprue level to make sure that the sides are vertical in this direction, and laterally as well. Don't want a wonky column. The next thing is to put a bit more mix in here. This mix is a bit softer, so it should tamp down nicely and leave a nice surface finish. Right, that is very, very good. I am expecting, since concrete shrinks, for the height of that column just to subside slightly. No big deal. This is probably about 5mm too high anyway, and if I need to chock it up, I'll just put a bit of steel underneath and tack weld that in. Not a problem. More concrete on the top there as well. Well, I'm really pleased. That has settled in really well. I've checked that it's vertical in both axes, so I'm going to let that rest. Ideally, I'll take the casting off tomorrow, but I think that'll be a bit early, so I'll leave it a day or two. They're keen to see it, but it is what it is. I'm going to do a bit of track bed wood painting. It'll need a couple of coats. I'll get one coat today, maybe another coat tomorrow. Then I can lay some track on this Delta triangle, Delta Junction. This is basic painting. Slobber it on. No fuss. Drop it in the pot as well if you want while you're at it. Well, probably I'll leave it here for today. I'll just get the last bit of the painting done. I will consider the dimensions and positions of the track junctions further up. I need to make the 2-track steel work into a 3-track, but that'll be next time. Thank you again for watching along during this episode. There'll be more. Until the next time, thanks for watching and bye for now.